I remember what's funny is, as we're driving around here, I'm looking at people on sidewalks and cars that are around here and everything going on.
He's a very distracted driver, by the way.
Oh, I am. You can tell.
That's gonna be at med school.
I know.
Look at that.
It's incredible up there.
Yeah.
I was actually involved with some of the properties over here in my past, prior attempt at some revitalization, but I think it was a lot of the start of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's stuff that goes right, there's stuff that goes wrong, and that always happens, right? You just want more right to happen than wrong,
right?
And when it goes wrong, you just have to be able to learn from it, not criticize it, learn from it. But I don't think a lot of this stuff would have happened had Dave Burke not come in and done what he did in Old Town. I don't think a lot of this would have happened if the Minnesota guys hadn't come in, starting a lot of stuff in downtown, acquiring and starting to revitalize certain things. Now, granted, some stuff went south, well, a lot did. But what it did is it opened the eyes of a lot of people that otherwise their eyes weren't open. And, the city keeps pushing forward in this drive, this push. And then, like you said, coming into Delano, we're crossing over the bridge in Delano. This is it's amazing how it's transformed. This is
that's for sure.
beautiful.
I mean, and we're crossing the river right now. One of the really great things that Wichita didn't do, that other cities did, is really kind of wreck the river space.
Yeah.
Where there are cities that lay down train tracks, or put like overpasses over in the waterfront, because at one point a waterfront wasn't desirable space. And here in Wichita, we are seeing some of that development over with new development by the river, but also opportunity to really respond to, I think, what people want to see, what people want out of our city, which will allow us to stay forward thinking with how we do utilize some of the rest of that space.
So tell me something about you that people may not know.
I used to do grad school papers with a really heavy laptop and that bar/coffee shop back there.
Is that what it was?
The vagabond, yeah.
So is that a good or bad thing?
Well, it's just popped in my head. I bet no one knows I used to do homework there.
Oh my
God. Really, I don't know what the thing about running for office, particularly at this level, is
everything's out there.
Yeah, I don't know what, because I'm kind of an open book where, I talk about my experiences, and I don't know if there's much that people don't know. I mean, besides maybe that I did martial arts growing up.
What kind of music do you listen to?
I actually listen to some reggae, hip hop, and country. To be honest, yeah.
That's a unique blend.
Yeah. It depends on the mood, but listening to a lot of J. Cole now. Like, his new album's fairly impressive.
Okay.
A lot of good lyrics. So like clever songwriting. So
really?
I listen to some of that. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, which is interesting.
What's the best book you've read recently?
Getting to Yes, actually. So during the debates that we had when it came to modernizing our ethics policy,
mm-hmm.
There were some arguments that were, I think, people who were concerned with the new ethics policy, but they really didn't apply to the new ethics policy. And
mm-hmm.
I found myself getting almost frustrated with, no, we're not talking about campaigning. There is a ethics policy for campaigning and a whole state level board dedicated to that. We're not talking about really campaign finance. There's already a board for that. We're talking about the ethical behavior of electeds here and how, but it kind of blends in. And anyways, I found myself having problems, I guess, kind of separating the emotions of some folks had with this with the actual policy itself. And the book Getting to Yes, which I guess is somewhat of a classic when it comes to negotiating, really helped, I think, put some of why we have conflict, why a lot of it has to do with communication, into perspective. So that was a book that I read actually 2 or 3 times in preparation for some of our discussions on this. So yeah.
So what's your favorite 90s show?
Saved by the Bell, maybe? That was a good one.
Okay.
Yeah, Saved by the Bell was a good one. What else? By the way, kind of tragic. Like, have you seen like
what's happened with everybody?
Well, I don't know what's happened with everybody. Like, turns out, you can't. Yeah, turns out like not the greatest way to grow up, I guess. But also, some of the documentaries about Saved by the Bell and interesting. It turns out it wasn't all perfect.
It was not all perfect.
I think Screech died.
He did recently. I say recently. It's been what? I think last year is when he passed away. But it was interesting watching a lot of that stuff.
Early 90s like documentaries on like 90s shows are just amazing though. Like, just because you never watch them when we were kids, and you're like, oh, you're kind of caught up in this world. And then like you got a documentary, and of course there's some crazy stuff happening in the background, and it's just
perception is
interesting.
Perception is not reality, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Everybody thinks all these people have the perfect lives and the perfect stuff, and
remember that guy? Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yep.
The one of the main characters, the guy who the dad, and then you find out that he actually, I think I read this. He actually like gave up Hollywood to just be a dad.
Yeah.
Stay-at-home dad, and I guess was doing great with it. Some of these like, oh, what happened to that actor? And then you find out like, oh, they made enough money to be comfortable, and they decided to go raise kids. And interesting stuff.
It sounds funny. Vanilla Ice, right? Because he was big definitely when I was growing up, and his music career was short. He took his monies, invested it in real estate, did construction and flips. Oh yeah, created a major operation, if you will, off of Ice Baby, right?
Right.
And there's a lot of people that I've seen that have just kind of done, little things like that. The limelight, some were forced into making good choices, and others, other people just made good choices with their monies and got out of public opinion and just lived life.
Yeah.
And I hear I'm speaking to a politician.
I'm starting to wonder about all my choices now.
Public opinion, right?
Right. Maybe you're trying to tell me something here.
Hey, let's see. We need a good Hapkido community, which needs, good leadership that way. Bring something new, right?
Yeah. I think I'd overdo it though. Like, we have our yearly proclamation of the city honoring the greatest martial art, and then lobbying the legislature for funding. Take it way too far.
My God. No,
proclamation from the governor.
For some reaon, I don't think you would last long as mayor then. No, right. I think that would be short-lived.
We're teaching Hapkido in the schools now. Yeah, no, no, we don't want me taking that on too much. I might go too far with it.
Oh my God. Well, I want to tell you, I've had a blast with you here, coming out and driving around with me.
Yeah.
This this is good. You know, it's
We got
not
a lot
every
of
day you get to
stuff
ride with the.
going on down here.
I'm
A lot of
telling you,
construction.
Wichita is happening.
Yeah, these old buildings are pretty cool. And growing up in New England, like I just have a thing for old buildings because, you know, the history there.
Yeah.
And then, you know, being in a legislature, they redid the entire state capitol
Yeah.
up to the historical
Standards.
yeah, the significance of it, and beautiful. And then, you know, once in a while you can get into one of these old buildings and it's almost like a time capsule
The
where
Crest
some
Ener-
amazing stuff.
Crest Energy Center. You need to go in there sometime. I go in there and there's this hallway that's sort of off the back. It's one of the side entrances. The ornate granite going and the stairs going down to the basement. And I'm sitting there, we're just sitting there thinking, it's like, what was in this place in the past?
Right.
And what do they do? Why would they spend that much money and that much effort to make it look that nice? What existed in the past, you know? And it's incredible stuff. I've seen some amazing things.
We've had I had a friend who was living with friends in this one house years ago that was just like this old mansion, and I think it's South Broadway. It's like surrounded now by, you know, just like car lots or whatnot, and apparently it has a speakeasy. And there's like a hole somewhere in the basement that will be a tunnel out into this other room, and they couldn't find that because the basement had concrete over it. So they were trying to figure out where
it was.
Yeah, where it was, because they just wanted to dig into one place. But they found, I think, roughly like where the tunnel was outside. But they didn't want to, of course, drill into the tunnel because then they would ruin it. But just real interesting, some of the historical stuff. Eventually, I have to use my mayor powers to get me into some of these old buildings with that the city owns.
Oh, absolutely.
Where like I bet there's just some pretty cool stuff. Or just
just the history behind some of this stuff. I mean, you know, some of these old places that are here, it's, you know, you just think about the people that have walked some of the halls, and, you know, I mean, even in Wichita, I mean, I get amazed. I really get amazed at some of the stuff.
We had during when I first got elected, I had an interview over at the Sedgwick County Historical Center, and they had the traditional mayor's office.
Right.
And what's interesting is how that they recreate it based off of one photo they found. And like nothing was original. And it was just interesting where it's like, yeah, I guess in the moment no one thinks that this is history.
Yeah.
And then they did their best to recreate it, but it makes you wonder what we are doing today that they will look back on historically.
Oh, absolutely. And what's your mark?
Right.
You know?
Who knows? Yeah.
I mean, hey, this
Thanks,
was enjoyable. So I want to thank Mayor Whipple for taking the time to join us here with our Cruising with Kirk, and go in there and press the like button, share this video, come see us at the Wichita Home Team. And again, I want to thank all of you for watching. Take care.
Thanks a lot.